Hello students of 6th standard, we have started the lesson, that is lesson number 1, natural resources, air, water and land. Today we are going to see some new points in this, you can say, lecture. See what are the new points that you want to see? See here, all above pictures, the pictures whichever are shown in your textbook, that pictures are nothing but you can say the smoke that is emitted by the factories, or you can say there is a fire of the forest. So various types of the you can say pictures are shown in your textbook. All above pictures, whatever the pictures they are shown in your book, show large scale of emission of a smoke through different agencies. So what does this tells us? These pictures show you the large scale emission. Large scale emission means giving out. Emission means giving out. What giving out? Giving out of a smoke through the different agencies. These are the different types of the industries, or you can say different things whichever are giving the smoke. This smoke directly mixes with the atmosphere, disturbing the balance between the constituents of the air. So what happens whenever there is an emission of such smoke? The smoke, we know, it goes up into the air. So what it does? It mixes with the air. It mixes with the air, and whenever it mixes with the air, what happens? The balance between the constituents of the air. So there are some constituents of the air. So the balance gets disturbed due to the smoke. This is called as a air pollution. This is nothing but a air pollution. Harmful gases are given out through combustion of fuels in vehicles and in big industries, and also through incomplete combustion of fuels like wood and coal. What happens? See there, whenever there is an incomplete, you can say, burning of fuels in an vehicles. We know that in vehicles we use petrol, diesel. If there is an incomplete burning of this, you can say, petrol or diesel, it causes the smoke. Then again in industries also, from industries also the smoke is given out. If there is an incomplete combustion of wood or coal, then also it is very harmful. Gases are given out from this, and it is very harmful to the environment. See here, as a result, air pollution is increasing. So what happens? Due to this incomplete combustion of wood, or you can say coal, or you can say the burning or combustion of a fuel, what happens? There is a, you can say, air pollution is increasing. Then see next one, the most important layer is nothing but a ozone layer. Ozone layer is also called as a protective layer. Ozone layer surrounds the earth, or you can say protects the earth. Now we are going to see what is actually the ozone layer. There is a layer of ozone. There is a layer of ozone gas in lower part of a stratosphere. So what is there? See here, there is a layer of ozone. Ozone layer is there. In which part? In the stratosphere part. Ozone gas is not directly useful for the survival of the living things. It is not directly useful for the survival of the human beings, or you can say the living things. Yet it is important for living things to have this layer of ozone at high altitude around the earth. Even though it is not directly, you can say, useful for the human beings, but it surrounds the earth and it protects the, you can say, human beings from the, you can say, ultraviolet rays. See here, the UV rays coming from sun are very harmful for living things. So there are ultraviolet rays which are coming from the sun, and if these rays reach directly towards the earth, then it would be harmful to the living things. So what is done? It is protected by a ozone layer. The earth is protected by a ozone layer. The ozone gas, what is the, you can say, function of the ozone gas here? The ozone gas absorbs these rays. As a result, life on the earth is protected. So what you see? The ozone layer absorbs itself the ultraviolet rays and protects the earth from its harmful effect. The ozone layer is destroyed if chemical gases like carbon tetrachloride or the chlorofluorocarbons used in air conditions and refrigerators mixes with the air. What will happen? See that the ozone layer is destroyed. When it is destroyed, if the gases like, you can say, carbon tetrachloride is one of the gas which is found, or you can say chlorofluorocarbons, whichever are used in the air conditions, or you can say refrigerators. This may mix with the air and they may, you can say, disturb the ozone layer. Now see in your textbook. Do you know, in metropolitan cities like Mumbai, Pune or Nagpur, boards are displaced at the places of a heavy traffic to show the proportion of various constituents of the air at that place. Due to these boards, we can see amount of harmful elements in the air. So what is done? See there, in the metropolitan cities there are the boards which are showing the amount of gases whichever are mixed in the air, or how much there is a pollution which is done, or which is or the how the air pollution is made, or how much gases, harmful gases it contains. And this element also shows the this board also shows the amount of harmful elements whichever are present in the air. See the next page. The next page is about the water. See here, try this. Observe how much water is used and for what purpose it is used in your house for a whole day. So see, we are using water in our house for many purposes. We are using it for bathing, we are using it for washing clothes, we are using it for washing utensils, we are using it for mopping the floor, we are using it for drinking, you are using it for cooking, you are using it for brushing the teeth, you are using it to wash the animals. So various types, various things we are using the water for the various purposes. Now you have to observe for how much or to how many times we are using this water in our daytime or in your whole daytime. You have to record the chart like shown here. The chart is given in your book. You want to record that. Divide the total amount of water used in your house by the number of persons to find out how much water each person needs. You want, after getting this, the whole amount of water whichever you are using in the day, you want to divide it into each person, and you want to see how much the water each person needs. Then see, how will you see, you will see that it is almost impossible for us to spend a even single day without a water. We can't spend a single day without a water. We need to drink. We need water to drink, and at least we need 3 to 4 liters of a water in a day to drink. Then see, why we need this water? We need water because our body function should go nicely or should work nicely, or the body organs should work nicely, so that we need this amount of water. Then see, these other living things also require water. Other living things also require water. There are many living things whichever are present on the earth. They also need the water, but their amount may vary. They may not need 3 to 4 liters, but they may need more, or they may need less water also. Thus we see that water is very important for us. Then see next one. If hydrogen gas burns in air, it combines with oxygen and water. If hydrogen burns in air, hydrogen gas burns in air, it combines with oxygen and water. It combines with oxygen and water is formed. What does it tell here? If hydrogen gas burns in air, it combines with oxygen and water is formed. We have learned about some characteristics of water in the previous, standards. Observe and discuss what is shown there. See, there is groundwater is there, ice and water in the other forms is there, water available for drinking. There see seas and oceans, distributions of water on the earth. What does this tells us? That there is a groundwater, then again ice and water in the other forms is there, water available for drinking is also there. Then see next one. In the nature, water occurs in 3 states. Whenever we see in the nature, the water is occurring in a 3 state. Water does not have color. Whenever you see, water is colorless, it is tasteless, and it is odorless. If there is any pollution, then only its taste or its color is changed. There are many substances which are readily dissolved in the, water. Therefore, water is called as a universal solvent. The blood of the animals and sap in the plant contain a high proportion of water. The blood of the animals and the sap in the plants contains the high amount of water. There is no living thing who can survive without the water. Therefore, it is said to be water is nothing but a life. See the next one. Water available on the earth or percentage. Seas or oceans. Then see how much it is. 97%. In rivers or lakes, it is about 2.7%. Water available for drinking. That is nothing but 6%, 0.6%. Then see, total it will be 100%. We cannot use all water on the earth. We cannot use all water on the earth because this water is salty. That means most of the water is found in seas and oceans, and this water is salty, and therefore we cannot use it for drinking purpose. Some water is in frozen state. That means some water is converted into ice. Therefore, we can't use that also. A very small quantity of water is available for drinking. A very small quantity of water is available for drinking. Yet it is enough to living things. Then see, do other living things use water like we do? We use water in large quantities. We are using the water in a very large quantities. We have learned that water on the earth is regulated through the water cycle. That means we are getting the water on the earth through a water cycle. The water vapor formed from ocean is the main source of the water. See here, the water vapor formed from ocean is the main source of water in the water cycle. Then see, it gets converted into rain, creating fresh water sources of earth. Then see, whatever the water cycle is there, it gets converted into, you can say, rain, creating a fresh water sources on the earth. We get water from natural resources. We are getting the water from the natural resources. So there are various natural resources, like you can say streams, rivers, ponds, springs and lakes. Man also, they dig the well and bore wells from which they are getting the water. Apart from this, man has also constructed dams, or you can say bunds, of various sizes on the river. So also they can collect the water and they can use it for the drinking purpose. Due to the uncontrolled use of the water, there is, you can say, increase in the pollution, industries, and you can say, due to the uncontrolled use of water for an increasing population, industry and farming, it is now in a short supply. See what happens? Due to the increase in the population, or you can say industries are increased, farming is increased, it needs most of the water, and as the most of the water percentage is used in such cases, we get a short supply of water. Water scarcity has become one of the serious problem.